Well, we're taking it easy and we're feeling fine. Put a little stitch in here on Island Time. If you get in a hurry, well, it's not a crime. But won't you come and join us on Island Time?
Hello FlossTube, welcome back to Stitching on Island Time. My name is Mallory Bosse and this is my mom, Lori Millsap, and we are here in the middle of November 2024 bringing you our second episode, which we've titled Thankful.
Thankful. Yeah. Here we are, thankful on Island Time. I wanted to say thank you especially to the FlossTube community, who I feel like are our entire 500 followers. You know, maybe we've got a mom or a sister in there, but for the most part, I think that you guys have been so kind. And we were officially welcomed by some very popular FlossTubers that I know you already watch. Kim, the Contented Needleworker, Jessica, Sweetwater Stitcher, Amy, who is Renewing Stitches, Beth, who's the Red Cross Stitcher, Celeste from Celeste Creates, Holly from Hobbies of Holly, and Carrie, Tiger Lily Designs, as well as Sarah at Sarah's Stitchy Spot. You guys are super sweet to mention us, to direct people here, and we really appreciate it.
It was a little overwhelming to publish one video and have so many people like and subscribe and comment. Wow, thank you all so much.
And I hope I answered everybody's questions. We had a few, mostly about the quilt that was behind me and, you know, things like that. So I answered those on our first video. If you have any additional questions from that first video, Mallory did an excellent job of embedding all the links to everything that we talked about. So definitely just look at the show notes from that show, but feel free to ask me. And we're available. You can reach us if you email stitchingonislandtime@gmail.com. You'll get either one of us. And also, of course, you can follow us on social media. I'm Island Time Quilting on Instagram and on Facebook. And
I'm
Mallory,
just M. Bosse.
M3 Bosse.
M3 Bosse.
Don't forget the 3.
Yes, the 3 is important.
That's right.
Before I was a Bosse, which is just a hard word to say for most people, I was a Millsap. So I was Mallory McGarry Millsap. And with 3 M names, my math brain just said, oh, I'm M cubed.
Yes.
M to the 3rd power. So I've held on to that 3.
Yes, and it's an excellent 3. We like it in there. Okay, we're going to first catch you guys up on the wonderful stitching retreat that we went to on November 9th. Our local group here, Flossy Floozies, hosted an event that we audaciously named Stitch East.
Yes.
And we're going to keep calling it that because everyone seemed to embrace it. We are here in Eastern North Carolina, and we had a wonderful gathering here at the Brook Valley Country Club in Greenville, North Carolina on November 9th. We had about 50 people, which we thought was wonderful for a one-day event. It wasn't, we didn't have any instructors or any classes. It was merely to get together and stitch. We had a couple of vendors, including Mallory and my good friend Carol, who is Fiber Antiquities on Etsy. And has some beautiful things.
Oh, her products were gorgeous.
Yeah, you definitely should go visit Fiber Antiquities on Etsy and look for the things that Carol carries. Just wonderful.
Yes.
But we just had a great time.
I had a wonderful experience, both as a vendor and as a stitcher, because after the initial rush of people coming to see what I had and buying what they wanted, I was able to sit down and stitch for the majority of the day.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
And my sweet husband, who is the other half of Bosse Designs, was there with me all day as well. And fortuitously, we had packed him a project to work on.
Yes.
So he also was able to stitch with us all day long. It was fantastic.
Yeah. You want to go ahead and show what he did? Because that was fun.
So I showed last time that I got this fantastic book of Pokemon cross stitch from my friend Phoebe Mills. And you can see on the back here, this Pokemon's name is Gengar. That's my husband's favorite Pokemon. And so he sat down with me and started stitching. Look how cute it's gonna be.
Isn't that
I just
fun?
love the pop of the red eyes. We chose colors not based on what was recommended, just what I had. And we chose this brighter purple, which I really love. It pops.
I like that very much.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. It'll make a cute ornament.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. Well, one of the things that we did at the Stitch East was that we had a show and tell table, so we have some great pictures of those things, and we can show you some of the things that were there. There were some very talented stitchers who attended that day. And we had a free table, and that was awesome because everybody took something home, and then we had just a few things left, and we sent them to stitchers who might have lost things in Western North Carolina. So that's a great thing. We're also, while I'm thinking about Western North Carolina, I do want to mention that we have a group called Tar Heel State Stitchers on Facebook. And Terry, who runs that group, is Lizzie Joe Creates. And Terry came to our Stitch East event, and she is organizing a exchange, a swap, donation, really.
Not really a swap. They're not giving anything back.
Right, but it's a Western North Carolina stitchers can actually let her know what they miss, what they lost in the hurricane. And so then we can choose kind of like an angel tree. I don't know if any of you guys do that. That's definitely popular at churches around here, but so that you can sort of adopt a stitcher and send her a gift. And so if you want to join Tar Heel State Stitchers, North Carolina is still one of the contiguous United States, and you're welcome to cross our borders. So join the group on Facebook. We'd love to have you. It's a group for all kinds of needlework, not just cross stitch. So we may have some quilting requests and other things. So,
but for the most part, we were just asking people to pull extra things from their own stash.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I mean, things that you bought forever ago and you haven't used and really don't have an immediate plan to use. Those are great things because some of those folks lost everything.
Yeah. And Terry's doing a really good job of protecting privacy. She's going to be the holder of all those names and addresses. So once you choose a name from the list, you'll just choose initials, then she'll let you know who that one person is. So we want to have a whole list of names and addresses out there floating around. So that's a good thing.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, in retrospect, that would be kind of creepy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then the other thing that we did at Stitch East, now that I remembered the Western North Carolina bit, is we did a smalls exchange.
Which was super fun.
It was. Since Mallory and I were there to help set up. We had brought our smalls and we'd set them on the table early, but neither of us thought to get a number early.
Yeah, that was part of the check-in process, and we were greeting people at the door and sending them to the registration table.
So we did no checking in. So it meant just in time to draw, we went, oh, we need numbers.
Oh, no.
So, Mallory, what was your number?
18.
And I was 20, which we had 20 people participate. So, I was the very last person to get to go up there. That's fine with me. If you know anything about that's kind of the way that's my MO. I'm good with that.
I did get a little nervous because right before I went up, my present was still on the table. So I was afraid I was going to be left with my own exchange, my own small.
Yeah, mine too. Mine was there for a long time. I think we didn't make them necessarily so beautiful on the outside.
Right.
Maybe that's why.
Neither of us have that spiritual gift.
No,
that's not something that we really
we
do.
like to stick things in a bag and staple it at the top. Like that's our.
Yep.
So the last gift on the table was in a brown paper lunch bag, which I could so identify with. Like that just made perfect sense to me. And so I get this lunch bag and I'm not really expecting anything. And it's Miss Hazel. Can y'all believe someone stitched this for a smalls exchange? I nearly burst into tears.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me? This is Stacy Nash's Miss Hazel. She's holding feathers. Lacey, who stitched it, sent me the sweetest email, which of course I was going to read to you, and my phone's on the other side of the room, so I'm not going to read that right now. But I will say that she told me this beautiful story about how Miss Hazel will take my dreams and soar if I whisper that. Anyway, it was the sweetest thing. And so it's got a little pair of scissors on the back, and she even included the chart because the rest of the chart for Miss Hazel has a little, I think I've got it to show later, but it has a little pin keep that you can make to go with her. So I will probably make that pin keep. She stitched this, she said, on, I think it was 32 count Jobelin in sage, which, you know, is just wonderful. It's the perfect
gorgeous.
color for it. So I was so excited.
And the small that I got was perfect for me as well. Leslie, who's a member of the Flossy Floozies now, made this beautiful little scissor fob on red fabric. And as soon as I pulled it out, I went, oh no, I'm not going to get to keep this. Those are my husband's colors.
That's right.
And so literally I turned to him and went, look what I got. And he goes, oh, thank you. And
took it. Yes. This is definitely a Mike thing.
But it's just so perfect for him.
Is.
And now that he's getting back into stitching with us, it's been so nice. The whole community really pulled him and welcomed him. Of course, being the only man in the room who's stitching, he got a lot of attention.
Yes.
I had to remind people, he's taken, you know, that guy.
That's right.
But he got his very own little scissor fob. Thank you so much, Leslie.
Yes.
It's adorable.
That was great.
Yes.
So overall, the day could not have gone better. We had, you know, the minor things that happen sometimes with those kind of gatherings. But for the most part, it was just a beautiful fall day here in North Carolina. We were able to eat lunch outside, overlooking the golf course, you know, and had a wonderful time visiting with each other. Everything about it was wonderful. So we talked about it at our regular monthly meeting, and I think we'll be having another retreat in the spring. We will be sure to let you know what that date is. If you live close enough that you think you might travel to Eastern North Carolina to come spend a day with us, that would be wonderful.
And it's going to be another Saturday, just like our November 9th was.
Yeah.
The other thing that we did at the Stitch East retreat, which I thought was really fun, we had little bowls on each table for everybody to collect their orts, their old ratty threads, the ones that you get at the end of working with a piece of string. Anyway, the little floss ends were collected at the very end, and I spent an afternoon sorting them by color so that we've got all the colors together in a family. And Mike and I are going to be using resin to make a resin art piece with our orts that says Stitch East.
Won't that be fun?
It's gonna be so cool.
You know, why not? Why not enjoy something like that? I think we're elevating our goals for next time. We do hope that we'll have a cross stitch chart to give all our guests. Yes. So that'll be fun too. All right. Let's go ahead and get started talking about stitching. I have several finishes. I told Jordan, the tattooed stitcher, and Jessica thought it was funny that y'all did not warn me that starting a floss tube meant I would start finishing things. Because for 3 years, I've just been stitching and occasionally finishing something. But I guess now I'm going to have to be a finisher. Who knew? Yeah. So, I'll show you the one I finished this week because it was a fun surprise to me that I got to finish it. I was digging through looking for other things and discovered that I had Seasons of the Heart Fall nearly finished.
What a fun discovery.
In its project bag. And I went, what in the world? Who takes the Katie Strachan silk conversion with the beautiful linen that she provides, the beautiful satin backing that she gives you? Who does that and just stops at 80% complete? Apparently I do. So I went ahead and finished that one up. Oh, I haven't pulled my charts out. Let me grab them so I can show you. So this one comes from Seasons of the Heart. It's the one on the back. It's the fall into winter pattern from Brenda Gervais. So I thought it was very sweet. It makes a sweet little pillow.
It's so cute.
All right.
It's cute as a button.
Yes, I love it. And then the next one that I finished, again, completely unplanned finish. This was a fully finished stitching. All the stitching was done probably in 2021. And so I pulled it out and thought, what am I going to do with this thing? And I put Gather Ye Pumpkins While You May by Little House Needleworks on this box that I found at Hobby Lobby. And it's a wonderful box. It's huge.
It's massive.
So, I mean, it had to be to hold this. I stitched this in fall of 2021 when I was newly back to stitching. It was one of the first patterns that I chose. And I I'm sure I used all the called for floss, so I remembered that this was a whole lot of what was it? Pea something.
Pea pod?
Pea pod. That's what it was. Good job, Mel.
Thank you.
And so anyway, and I do remember that my house ghosted and I had to pick a different color for the house. But so this house sort of looks like ours when it needs to be pressure washed. But I really loved this. I thought it turned out really nice. The pattern was Little House Needleworks, Gather Ye Pumpkins. It's I did it on 30 count fabric. I'm pretty sure I bought it, the pattern and the fabric, while I was down in Southport at Angel Wings Needle Arts, which is one of my favorite LNSs.
Jealous, I haven't been to that one.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to show you one more, and then we'll let Mallory show you something, right?
Here's the thing, I'm not finishing at nearly the rate of this woman, but I do have a few smalls that I can show off a little bit.
Okay, well, so this is Jeanette Douglas Designs Autumn. This is actually a previous finish, because when I went on my retreat with Jeanette Douglas in April, I frantically finished everything that I was stitching for her like it was my homework. So, but I thought since I was showing autumn smalls, I would include this one. I loved this one. I'm gonna hold it a little closer because I'm super proud of all those specialty stitches. So I can't find my chart. It's probably in the bag with the only one I have yet to finish, which is spring. So when I get the spring one out, I'm sure that's where the 3 patterns I've finished are probably tucked in there with it.
It's so helpful when you get your stitching organized. It's less helpful when future you doesn't remember how you organized it.
Absolutely, yes, and I'm notorious for that.
Oh, as am I. We could be related.
We could be. Okay.
So let me show that I was stitching at Stitch East that I actually finished the day after Stitch East.
Okay.
This is a what's it called? The Spooky Autumn Smalls by the Blue Flower, Janine McGowen.
Janine McGowen, yeah.
And I loved it. When we went to the store at Barefoot Needle Arts, they had all of the smalls from this set, and I'll show you what that looks like, made and on display. And oh my gosh, they were all so cute. But this one in particular caught my eye because look at that raccoon! Are you kidding me? So I started stitching this immediately back at the very beginning of October. Unfortunately, the chart was a little difficult for me to read because the lines, the dark orange and this dark gray, were charted in the number 9 and the number 6.
Oh, I hate when charts do that. Someone else was just mentioning that on FlossTube this week, that something was both 9 and 6, and they were having the hardest time telling which was which.
I'm not really dyslexic, but because they're the same line weight, same font, number and everything, and it's just, the numbers just flip, I got it wrong. And so I had started filling in the orange and the gray, realized I had it wrong and I was off, and I had to rip all those stitches out and start over. So I did do that right before Stitch East so that I would just basically be filling my pumpkins and I'd be able to hold a conversation at my table.
Fill-in is a perfect thing to work on when you're at an event like that.
So I had got the structure laid in, and then I just did my, the variegated floss is so fun to work with when you can see, all the colors shifting in the pumpkin. And then I saved the raccoon for last. That was my present to myself for me to get to add this adorable little raccoon. Now, you might be wondering why I put a 2024 at the bottom of it.
Well, you finished it in 2024.
I did, but there's more reason than that.
Okay.
So I found out on Halloween Day who I had been stitching this for without knowing at all. Because my aunt, your sister Lisa, had posted on Facebook that she had a raccoon get into her garage on Halloween Day. She called her son to try to extricate said raccoon from garage. The raccoon went into the hood of the car in the engine. And it was a whole thing to get it out. And it was just like this Facebook story that just wouldn't end. It just kept going, the saga of the raccoon.
That's true. So Halloween, he's already wearing a mask. He seems to be trick-or-treating.
Sure. Except
mostly tricks.
He really got into a bad position for himself. And it took a couple of postal workers to get this raccoon out of the engine of her car. Anyway, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm stitching a raccoon with pumpkins. This is clearly for Lisa.
Oh, absolutely.
So I put the 2024 there as we can remember the year of the raccoon.
Excellent. Excellent. She will love that. She will absolutely love it.
I'll finish it into a little pillow or something. I didn't want to show it fully finished because it is a present. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think she's kind of busy. She's got 4 grandbabies. I think she's too busy to watch us. But if you watch us, don't tell us and pretend like you're surprised.
That's right.
Okay, so my next fully finished I want to show is one that I loved. I went to the Stitching Bee in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We go up there most summers to go to the EAA Air Venture convention, a big aviation air show that we go and we camp for a couple of weeks. And when I saw this pattern, I just love the colors. I love a autumn pattern that's got that much blue in it. It's just not normal for them to be as blue as this one was. So I made my very first little drum. I did this one last year. She's a little wonky. Here's the problem. I was in such a hurry to finish it that I forgot to put interfacing inside this part. I watched Vanna's tutorial. I knew better, but I was really in a hurry. And for this particular one, you stitch it up closed so that the design continues and the seam is sort of invisible. And I think I was convinced I couldn't do that unless I had the linen forgiving with me. So anyway, I like it. I probably could have stuffed it with something besides polyfill and it would have been a little stronger too. But, you know, lessons learned.
That's
so
right. We don't body shame here.
That's
She's
right.
just right the way she is.
She is. That sounds good. So
she's
Harvest
gorgeous.
Home is from Summer House Stitch Works. And it's a great chart because it's just a 1-page card, which I like very much.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
And it's not too small. You can see it.
Yeah.
And I think I did this on 36 count. I wanted it to be kind of petite. The next one I'm going to show you is a previous finish. This is Autumn Beauty. It's from Fat Quarter Shop. And I did this one as part of that mystery. I don't even remember what year that this came out. You can still download it at Fat Quarter Shop. Oh, and I meant to check to see if it was a paid or a freebie. I think it was a paid one. I think you bought it. But so it included 4 different options to put here on the little sign. There was fall, y'all. There was autumn. I don't know, harvest and something else seasonal. Anyway, between all of them, all the letters for Millsap were there. And I went, well, look at that. That's a 7-letter word. I can make that work. So I just decided to make it say Millsap. And it gave me the encouragement to actually finish. I did this myself back in the day. My corners aren't, you know, it's fine. It hangs on the wall. And I'm such a terrible decorator. I just leave it out all the time. It says Millsap. It doesn't say harvest or autumn and it's, you know, it's colors I like. I don't care if it's sunflowers and pumpkins. They can stay out year round. So anyway, it hangs on the wall in our dining room. I love it.
It's perfectly viewable from where I sit at the dining room table, and I love that it's always there because
Yes.
I love pumpkins and sunflowers.
It
so
makes
it's
me
perfect.
happy. Here's another previous finish that I just love for autumn. This is from Hands On Design. It's from her House on a Hill series, and this is the autumn pin keep. And it's done in the classic box style that Kathy teaches. So you stitch the top and you stitch the perimeter, and you can or can't stitch the bottom. I actually put my name on the bottom with a little sunflower. You know, I could have stitched more in there. I could have put a year. I didn't do that. But the patterns, the charts for these come with the wool, which is really nice. And I love, this one says, there is a harmony in autumn. And I just love it. And I loved the little red house. They are super fun. They're a little smaller than her block party pin keeps that she does. I think I've got, yeah, that's what I brought in here. I have, I'm sorry about the zipper. I have still to do spring and summer. So, and you can order these, I think, on her website, but they come with the wool, and then you've got, you know, just these cute buttons. I mean, pins that you can order from Just Another Button Company. And They're very cute. And each pattern also has a fob that you can make. So that's why I was a little frustrated I couldn't find the autumn pattern. But again, I've organized it someplace for myself.
Past Lori very helpfully.
I will find it.
Hid it from current Lori.
That's right.
So that happens.
All right, I'll show you one more previous finish.
Oh, and I love this one. This is normally up by our mantle this time of year.
So this is pumpkins for sale. This is a Lori Holt. I can't believe I still have this chart. I actually thought I'd given this pattern away, but it was before she did her patchwork scarecrow. This one was there, and it's, you know, so it's a couple of years old, but I really enjoyed stitching it. But again, this was probably stitched in 2021 when I was still stitching most things on Aida. And I just remember how much fun it was to do all the fill-in on this pumpkin sign. And yeah, I loved everything about it. So I do actually remember to pull this one in and out seasonally because it does seem very, you know, very much an autumn piece. But I like that it's not Halloween. So I can pull it out in September and it can stay out until I'm ready to decorate for Christmas.
Because it is still autumn.
That's right.
We're still in the fall right now.
That's exactly the case. Yes, we are. Oh, I skipped the quilt behind me. I should talk about that.
Yes, absolutely. It's our backdrop today.
Yeah. So this is a quilt that I made probably in 2019, maybe. It's from the book Celebrate the Seasons by Cherry Guidry. And you can still get that book. I looked it up. You can find it on Amazon. So, but I was fortunate. I ordered it, you know, probably through a Facebook group. I saw it or something. But I ordered the laser cut kit. So I didn't have to cut out all these little shapes to do this applique, you know, the sort of cornucopia thing. I picked this pattern primarily because of the wheat. Mallory and I are both members of Alpha Omicron Pi fraternity, and so one of our fraternity symbols is the sheaf of wheat, and so I'm always attracted to that when it shows up in, you know, it's just beautiful to me. But it was a lot of fun to piece. I pieced it quickly, and then the applique took me a little longer to get around to, but anyway, once I had it done, I popped it straight into the frame, and I did custom quilt it. I did, you know, just some freehand quilting and threw in a little bit of digital stuff. So it was gorgeous. It was fun to work on.
It's beautiful.
And it
says, you can't see it right now, but we'll show a nice picture of it. It says thankful at the bottom.
Yes.
It's just lovely.
Yeah.
Yes, I do have another one. I have literally one.
Okay.
One other
Show
finish.
it, and then I've got just a couple more.
So this is one that I stitched last year, around this time last year. But I took it with me as a project that I could have when I was visiting my in-laws up in Boone. And unfortunately, it went too fast. I ran out of stitching and I had to buy myself more craft products while I was up there. But it's beautiful. This is a Lori Holt design from the Chicken Club. This one is Florence. And I just love the bright colors, the patterns within patterns, and gosh, that little chick following was just the cutest. So I had a lot of fun stitching this one up. The last time that I finished a project in the hoop, what I really wanted to do was put my name on the back, stitch it nicely so that it was visible. And I couldn't figure out how to do that because I had already buttonhole stitched my felt onto the back and it was all laced up and closed. So I just had to stitch some perforated paper and then put that onto the felt.
Sure. Well, that's a great way to do it. I mean, it's
works.
kind of like putting your label on a quilt, right? You want to, you know, if you're going to hang on to these things, you want to document.
It works. And I wanted to pull some of the colors from the front side with these chickens into the back. So I ended up choosing a pink felt that was pretty sheer, like see-through. And so I was going to have to do 2 layers of felt anyway. And I had the brilliant idea, why don't I put just a scrap of Aida between those 2 layers and stitch my name through the Aida to the felt side. And it turned out so pretty. The way that I ended up doing this, I designed the pixel art and then I had to flip it on my camera so that I'm stitching it on the Aida side, but reversed so that the X's will show on the back of my work.
Okay, wait a minute. So what you're saying is you held the Aida so it faced you.
Yes.
And you made your X's cross on the other side, on the underside, while you looked at what would normally be the back of someone's work.
Right. But you just do your stitches the same way, where you go into the bottom left and go up, and then into the bottom right and go up. It's just you're working the back side facing you rather than the front side facing you.
Sure. Yeah.
I can do a little tutorial if anybody's interested in learning how to do this themselves. It's really not as hard as you would think. And gosh, it just looks so clean. I love that.
So any day now, she's going to be one of those stitchers that the back looks exactly like the front. I'm just saying. If you can do that, you can do anything.
No. I hide it with felt because my back on these chickens did not look like the front.
Okay.
Not even a little bit.
All right.
Not even a little bit.
Well, it's very cute. And I love that. Did you bring the Chicken Club pattern to show?
I did. Yeah, I held that up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's Florence. I'm pretty sure that Fat Quarter Shop sent me this pattern for free, which was super sweet of them. Now, Dennis always laughs when I say they send me things for free because really as much money as I spend, you know, it's sort of just like like a little discount code.
Yeah.
Right. But I think they sent me this one. And so we're very grateful for that. And it's super cute. And all the Chicken Club patterns are still available at Fat Quarter Shop. And Lori Holt designed those. So, all right. I have two more. One is I finished the stitching a long time ago, but this one I finished this week. So this is the new Primrose Cottage Stitches freebie for this month if you are in their newsletter. And I did it in this giant pillow. It's bigger than my head. I think it's so funny that I made it so big, but here's why. Because in a dough bowl, now all my little finishes stand in front of it and you can still see that little give thanks up there. So the challenge with making a pillow this big, and I did just put a piece of wool on the back and one of my little vintage buttons here in this blue corner. But one of the challenges is I had pieces left of 2 bags of my preferred cotton batting that I use to stuff pillows, and it took every drop of my cotton that I had left. So I've got to order more stuffing before I can do any more pillows.
Big pillows do that.
Yeah, I mean, I was really kind of nervous. And I mean, she's not as tight a stuffing job as I would normally do, but it was about as tight as I wanted to do anyway on this size pillow.
I just love the coordinating fabrics that you chose.
Yeah, I love
so nice.
I
together.
love the little birds in this line. I'm trying to remember. It's a Sweetwater line of fabric, but I don't remember which one this is.
Well, because these white flowers, for whatever reason, it makes me think of cotton balls, and it all just like goes together seasonally.
Yeah.
Here in North Carolina, we have cotton fields as far as the eye can see.
Right
and
now,
they are all
yeah.
big and fluffy and white and beautiful.
Yeah, it's a lovely time to drive around in eastern North Carolina. All the farms are doing their thing. I did change the color to give myself an aqua pumpkin. I just wanted to bring a little blue in this. And I'm pretty sure I totally stole that from somebody else. But anyway, it turned out really sweet.
It's so cute.
But since I had used every drop of my cotton batting, then I bought lizard litter like 2.5 years ago, and I've been too nervous to actually stuff anything with walnut shells. And so I've had this finished stitching for a long time. It's the
How Much I Love You
by Teresa Kogut. It's in the Let Love Rain booklet. And I have to tell you, I am a Let Love Rain washout. So I started this big sampler, and it's magnificent. And it was on a sheet of fabric, this, like this. And so I got one little corner done. Well, I think I chose 25 count or something crazy. So it was going to be huge. Woo. Anyway, I did one little corner. It was very beautiful, and with Vicki Clayton silks. So it was gorgeous, but I just couldn't. And so I quickly gave up, and I UFO'd it completely, and instead I'm working on this one. This is a whip that I've got going right now.
Oh, yes.
That I just switched my Vicki Clayton silks over this, and I'm at about 50% on this project.
And this is a lovely one. I really like Love Your Family.
Love Your Family. It's in the book. And so anyway, once, so these booklets, she's got so many new patterns out. Teresa Kogut's Christmas stuff, y'all. Oh my goodness. Anyway, stuff with walnut shells. I handed this to my little granddaughter Gumdrop, and she was like, wow, that's a chunk. And I said, yes, it is. So it's sweet and heavy, and, and I just love it. And I did okay. Turned out walnut shells were not that hard to work with after all. And I thought it turned out sweet. And I kind of just had in my head that doing the heart finish was going to be tricky, and it really wasn't that tricky. It was trickier to stitch. I can't tell you how many times I ripped out this heart and then finally just gave up and just made it meet somehow. I'm pretty sure. You can't compare
move forward,
it to the
don't
truck.
move back.
That's right. Always forward, never back. That's exactly it. So anyway, that is my last fully finished to show today.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So now we can move on into our whips, things we're working on, and our new starts if we have any of those.
Yes, and I have a bunch of new starts, and I've made a lot of progress on them. So we did this last time, like the 3rd week of October, so just before Halloween. So I'm very, 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 very seasonal in my stitching.
Are you very seasonal?
I'm very, very, very. I'm not ready to stitch Christmas.
Oh, right, because it's November.
Exactly.
Yes.
So until Thanksgiving is over, it is not Christmas in this house.
That's right.
I'm guilty of listening to Christmas music at other times of the year. I love the music, but I'm not decorating. I'm not an early decorator. So the first project that I actually worked on after we filmed last time was His Eyes on the Sparrow. So His Eyes on the Sparrow is by Heartstrings Samplery. I have this giant piece that it's on 36 count dirty teacup, and I'm still working on filling in this house. I did finish this bird and this little guy right here and a little bit more of the border. And it's funny when we travel, this is kind of my go-to to make sure I take with me, because
you're not going to run out of work.
Exactly. I know for a fact that I'm going to be able to keep working on it. And I will go ahead and out myself. One of the things I did for haul this time is I reordered every floss that's in this chart.
Just so you won't run out.
Because one of them looks a little low. And so I ordered them all again just to make sure that I would have them.
That's very safe.
Yes, I'm real safe that way.
Very safe.
I thought I'd unzip this. The second thing that I worked on was my Halloween sampler. It's by Crochet A Go Go. It is so cute, y'all. And I started this in October. I worked on it Halloween Day, and then I put it away. I'm not going to be working on this anymore until next year. I think I mentioned I'm a seasonal stitcher. So I have the whole border laid in pretty much, and I spent Halloween stitching this little owl.
Oh,
isn't he
so
cute?
cute?
I thought he was precious.
It's so cute.
I'm stitching this one on it's a really nice linen.
Did you make this bag?
I did make this. No, this is a Starry Owl Stitchery bag that I treated myself to last month.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
Isn't it precious?
Yes, I love it.
She does beautiful work. I did not make this one. And I'm looking for my card. This is Vintage Sand Dune by Lakeside Linens that I managed to order from an LNS in Canada. And I
What does LNS stand for?
Local Needleworks shop.
Okay.
Like a real brick and mortar store.
Here's the thing, y'all. I'm so new jumping back into cross stitch that there are acronyms that I still don't know what they mean.
No, that's great. You should ask, because I guarantee you there are people watching this that are going, what have I found myself watching? What are they even talking about?
What are they saying? These aren't words.
We didn't do the whole, this is a cross stitch channel, because we do talk about other crafts. Like quilts.
I'm planning on having a bit at the end of this video if you want to stick around, because it's Knitvember.
Oh, sure.
And
we'll
so
have
for all
to talk
the
about the knitting.
knitters out there, we've been knitting every day of the month so far.
Yep.
So
Oh, I had grand intentions of ironing this one, but I didn't do that. This is Silhouette's Quaker from Teresa Kogut, and I just love it. I bought this one on a road trip to Canada. We stopped in Pennsylvania, and I found a little shop, and I bought a piece of this orangey fabric. Sorry, it's all crinkly in there.
Don't worry about it.
And this is how far I am. So I think it's super cute. It's one of those charts that you do just with a single color of floss. So most of the project is stitched in swamp water and with little pops of guacamole. So a little bit of lime green here and there.
I just love that sentence. Swamp water with a little pop of guacamole.
Yes, isn't that great?
That's amazing.
Yes, it is.
When the colors have fun names like that, it really does.
Yes.
Just like up my enjoyment of them.
It's just one of my favorite things. Yep.
That's the only challenge with DMC. The project that I started this month that is all DMC floss, you don't have fun color names. You just have numbers.
Yes.
But I am enjoying it. That was my big guy I'm working on.
Well, go ahead and show it.
Okay, so if you remember last video, I talked about my big black project, which is going to be the Fungi Garden by Una Buena Pieza. Gorgeous pattern. This is apparently a motif that they normally follow with this long kind of design on black fabric. And I, like a silly little goose, bought even weave to work on. So I've got 28 count even weave, and that's all I've done so far. So I'm having a lot of fun stitching it, but because this is my first time working on even weave, I didn't understand how the weft and the warp worked, and so Mom had to sit me down and help me figure out how to start it. So I'd made a small start where I'd just done like a little bit of a cap, and I was doing 2 strands over 2, and it was just too puffy. So now I'm doing 1 strand over 2. But I'm really happy with the way it's coming out. It was delightful to stitch this while listening to Only Murders in the Building.
I'm totally getting her hooked on that. I enjoyed it so much. I'm all caught up. I'm waiting for another season, as one does.
Yes.
So my next whip is Ducks in the Orchard. We started this on November 1st. This is a stitch along that a whole bunch of us started after attending the Barefoot Needle Art Retreat. The designer, Susan Robedy, is a relatively new designer, and she designed this sampler based off ducks that actually come up to Melody and Amy's place. Aww. And so anyway, it's super cute. And I am using the Vicky Clayton silks, which I keep in this handy dandy little bag. Box that I've ordered off Amazon, and I did answer a couple of people asked me where I got that box, and you can do that again, or you can look back where I answered, and I put the link in the comments last time. And I'm stitching this one in my frame because it's a year long and we're only doing half a page a month. Now, I am not at half a page yet. Right. I literally worked on it November 1st, and then I haven't had time to sit down again, but it's November 15th, so I have another half a month to do a little bit more. I'm stitching on island time, okay? So I did what I wanted to do on the 1st, and then I'll work on it again another day. Mm-hmm. Some overachievers have already finished their page for the month, which is fantastic.
I wouldn't call them overachievers.
No, that's people work at different paces. And I enjoyed the idea that a lot of people started in different places on the pattern, which is, you do you. You start wherever you like.
If you like center start. If
favorite
you like corner start.
Person did a center start, so I got to go ahead and see what those bricks on that house are going to look like, and it is super nice.
Ooh,
yes.
That's
and
fun.
I'm stitching mine on 36 count Mackinac Fudge, which is by Needle and Flax. So it's a chocolatey brown, and I did a test with all the silks to make sure that that's what I wanted. Mm-hmm. So then I had another new start. I have had Feast of Friendship in my stash for a long time, and I just decided this was the month that I would start Feast of Friendship. It's a blackbird design. A lot of people have stitched it, and a lot of people are stitching it. Some people have to put it in timeout. I'm not there yet, but I can see that, that it's a little tricky. And
so you put it in timeout, that just means you just don't work on it for a period?
Well, yeah, but usually it's because you're mad at it.
Oh.
I mean, there's a lot, but I worked on this just like 2 days, and I got a little bit late in. I went ahead and did my pumpkin, and I got to the corner of my house.
And it says all the words.
And I got Feast of Friendship in there so that I can pick it up and go, what was this one again? Oh, yeah, Feast of Friendship. Isn't that nice? And I have to look to see what fabric I'm using, because if I didn't write it down, I'd never know. This is Picture This Plus 40 count doubloon, which I think is the called for fabric. I think I ordered everything I needed to do this one when I ordered the chart.
It's so pretty.
So it's been kitted a little while, but I like it on 40 count. You know, I think it'll be sweet. It'll be a nice thing to have framed for our holiday decorating.
To go in the dough bowl.
Yes. And then because I think I started Thomas before I realized I had this other Katie Strachan project, but you know, I bought Katie's conversion of Thomas, which is the Not Forgotten Farm turkey. Isn't he cute?
He's very cute.
And Katie's, of course, is done in the 103 silks. And so I got a nice start on Thomas. I thought this was what I was going to work on the day that we were at Stitch East. Because I worked diligently thinking, well, good, I can just, you know, fill some gray turkey body. But I think he's going to travel with me for the holidays so that I can work on him while we're sitting around with family. But this is from the Katie Strachan kit. So it's her linen that she provided and her conversion of all the 103 silks that I just love to work with. So yes, I love. Okay. And then I think this was my last new start, and I love this the most of all. Like, of all my new starts, I'm having the best time with this. This is Whilst Iris Naps Black Sampler from 2021. So some people in the month of November do Black Sampler November, and they find a chart that they can work in black. And I think I may end up doing this from now on because I've had so much fun with this one. It's just so wonderful. And this is a sweet little sampler. It's only 3 inches wide and about 13 inches long when it's done. So I'm over halfway finished. I've got to finish this third alphabet, and then there's a little border area, and there's a date, and then there are a lot more flowers at the bottom.
I love that the flower motif at the top and bottom are very different from each other, but they fit together still.
Yeah,
you know?
I liked that too. And I liked that as a black sampler, it's not 100% black.
Right.
Like there's a lot, this is all Weeks Dye Works mascara, but there's some caper and some Tatanka and grits, I think is the white I'm using. Nice. So anyway, I love it. I love how it's coming together. I'm having so much fun stitching. I love stitching alphabets. I love stitching words. It's why Feast of Friendship says Feast of Friendship, because if I'm going to sit down, I'm stitching that first. I eat dessert first.
Nice. Well, I actually had the opportunity to work on one that you had started that you passed on to me and said, you know, I've got this much of a tree and a little bit of a tail, but if you want to stitch this, and it's adorable. It's Follows in the Air from Stitch Quarterly, and it's just a little fox peeking out around a tree. And so I took that start and just ran with it and have worked up most of a tree, got the leaves in there. My little fox is slightly modified because apparently I can't read a pattern.
That's okay.
The printing on this is a little smaller than other patterns that I've worked with, and so I just got a little off and went, oops. Well, only forward, no back.
There you go. I've taught you well, Grasshopper. Yes, definitely. I mean, he's
nice
so cute.
Because trees are such an organic shape anyway that, like, who's gonna know?
Right.
They're not gonna know. It's fine.
No. If you didn't out yourself on FlossTube for all perpetuity.
Oops. That's okay. It'll give people an opportunity to really look at my tree and go, okay, where did she screw up?
That's right. Take a close look, you people. All right, my next one, I really hoped to finish this month, and since the month is only halfway over, maybe I will. It's a little bit of spring from Blackbird Designs. I started this August 1st with Kim, the Contented Needleworker, and probably a bunch of other people that she invited to do this with her.
Is it a Sal?
But yeah, Kim just talks me into everything.
Oh, okay.
She's one of those that just, you know, sure, I'll do it. Why not?
Why not?
In fact, I was watching Tiger Lily at 3 o'clock in the morning this morning when I was awake.
Mom.
I know. And she and Jessica, Sweetwater Stitcher, are going to do the Anniversaries of the Heart from Blackbird next year. And I showed that last time. And we've had one video, and I showed that I have all those. And so I said, okay, well, you know, I've already started those, and I was going to do them individually. But, you know, Carrie's actually already stitched 2 of them completely, and she's still starting over to do them again on a big piece altogether. So I think she taught me into it. I think I'm going to pull out a big piece and do them all together next year with Jessica and Carrie. So
I meant to say when I was showing this one how nice it is using this Nurge hoop. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and that I've never worked on one of these before. Mom just handed me one and said, I think this will work for your pattern. It keeps it so nice and tight. And then I absolutely love these little guys. Do they have a name? The little clips that hold the rest of the fabric?
They're just thread holders. They wrap around a spool. Yeah, I learned that from Brenda in the Serial Starter.
They're
Brenda
perfect. This is such a long design that having that excess fabric tucked up and out of the way is just phenomenal.
Yes. Managing extra fabric is a big thing. So I'm not taking this out the hoop because I showed it to you last time and I'm so much closer. So I got all of this done this month. And so I just have this one big flower to go and then, you know, filling out the border. So I think I'll finish a little bit of spring by the end of the month, which makes me really happy. And I've got this one in a hoop. And then this is one of those grime guards that you can have. And so what's
your
nice,
greasy fingers doesn't get on the linen.
What's nice about a grime guard like this is literally you can just roll the fabric up in the edges too.
That's nice.
So
yeah.
And I like this size hoop. It's a little big, but I use a lap stand. And this is a wide hoop. It actually is one of those hoops that used to be screwed into a base.
Okay.
My mom gave me this. She says, I never use this. Do you want this? Sure, why not? And I took it out of its base and I just use it in my Elan lap stand. And that works really well. And then sometimes, you know, when we're traveling, I just work on it like this and it's fine.
That's great.
And I like, this is a bag that I did make myself. And I like the bag being large enough that I can still slide that hoop in it. So that's handy.
That is nice. I love that the giant Nurge hoop still fits in the project bag that you gifted me at the Barefoot Needle Arts retreat. That was just perfect.
That's right.
It's my big black project and it still fits in the project bag.
That's great.
Fantastic.
When I quit working on my Halloween sampler, I switched to my autumn sampler. So I have Crochet-A-Go-Go's patterns going for winter, autumn, Halloween, and spring. So
year round.
Yes, she doesn't have a summer one yet like this, but I'm sure that's coming. Maybe at market. That'd be great.
That would be great.
I'm just hinting for you.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
That's right. So this is the autumn, and I love it so much. And I had a nice start on this already.
It's got a raccoon.
It also has a raccoon. I did the raccoon, I think, first of all.
Yeah.
And so
this is a nice big piece too.
Yeah. So I think all I've had time to do this month is put in this squirrel and a couple of more trees and this pot. And so I'm going to do this middle part. And then there's another squirrel here. And on this side, there's a moose. No, a bear, a brown bear.
I absolutely love all the acorn and leaf stuff going
Yeah, the
around
border
the edge.
is very detailed. And so I'm on this version. When I do all these from the same designer, I try to stitch them all differently. I learned that from Samantha, the Huga stitcher. She starts her mirabilias in different spots so that she has different experiences, like whether she's doing hair or whether she's doing the dress or whether she started in the center.
Oh, I like that.
You know, so that if she's got multiple whips going,
it still gives you that variety feeling.
Exactly. And I also watched her video at like 4 o'clock in the morning this morning. So she's got a new video. I know. Who needs sleep when there's FlossTubes to watch?
Sure.
Anyway, I've actually been worried about Sam because I haven't seen her for a couple of months. And turns out she was just living life and stitching. Imagine that. So she has a lot to show and you should totally watch her video.
Okay.
It's great.
Cool.
She is from Manitoba, Canada, so I love her. We're kind of partial to Canadians around here.
Manitoba.
All right, this is an old whip. And I think I've worked on it for maybe just 2 Thanksgiving. I don't know, 3, 2022. I'm pretty sure I kitted it in 2022. It is called Thankful Harvest. It is from Lori Rippey. I'm going to try and find the front page. I should have pulled that out first. Oh, maybe I don't have a front page. It's in my iPad. It's a PDF, that I bought. And so, yeah, I don't see the front page.
That's okay.
So, anyway,
You've got a lot of it done.
You'll get the sense of it.
It's
called Thankful Harvest. And I, because I'm weird, I was at my mother-in-law's, and we live in the country, they live in the wilderness. And so we had Walmart. That's what was there, was Walmart. I had brought some extra fabric, but I hadn't brought any floss. So I was limited in color choices to what I could find at Walmart and what I could raid from other projects I'd brought with me. And so that's how I started this project. I think probably one of those oranges is a little bright, but it works. It works for me. I decided if I wanted to tone it down later, I would spritz it with some of that, Primitive Gatherings has a spray that you can make something look antiqued.
Oh, nice. So is it just like a coffee staining in a spray bottle kind of
exactly.
thing? Okay, that's cool.
And so anyway, I worked on this top row. I got both these birds done and both these pumpkins in place, and then realized that my center flower that was there before is not in the right spot. So I'll either take that center flower out, or I just won't care that it's not really a center flower.
Let it ride.
Off center flower.
Let it ride.
I like this one so much. I love the alphabet. So I got my whole expression done in there, and I just have a few flowers to do in the border.
Pretty.
There's another mirrored flower pot over on the other side and a mirrored cat on the other side, but I think when I put the second cat in, I'll color it like our Precious.
Yes.
We have a feral cat that lives in our area that has fallen in love with my husband Dennis, and so
follows him around all day long. He's the sort that's always in the yard, and she's always right at his heels.
Yes.
Whatever he's doing, even if he's mowing the lawn, she just sits to the side with her ears laid back and watches like, oh, you're making a lot of noise there, Dad. But she just follows him. She loves him so much.
Yes. He is her person, that's for sure.
I have 2 more to go, by the way.
Do you? Good.
Because I have those 2.
Okay, I will let you show both of those. This is my last one. So this is Mary Gibson. I have a really good start on her. I keep just adding additional border flowers as I can. And I went ahead and started the gold.
Oh, yeah, up here.
Which is very faint. I'm not sure you can even see it. Let's hold it up closer. And
there you go.
See if you can see that.
Sure.
But I started that gold border. So Mary Gibson is a beautiful giant sampler that I was watching Carol Saltbox Stitcher, and she's working on it, and it's gorgeous. And she said it was one of those exclusives from Homespun Needle Art, but now is available to everyone. And it was one that I had self-control and didn't order. So instead, I just stopped everything and went straight to the website and downloaded the PDF and kitted it almost completely from my stash. I just had to buy a few flosses when we were at Barefoot.
Is the gold you're using, is it a metallic gold, or is it just like a gold color?
It's just the color gold from Weeks Dye Works. Okay. Yeah, it's this.
I'm curious about that because when we were at Flossy Floozies on Thursday, Sandra shared her gold thread that she absolutely loves.
Yes, and that was really interesting to us. It was
Japanese?
Yeah, it was Cosmo.
Cosmo.
So it was a Cosmo gold metallic, and she said it's wonderful. No, see, this is gold.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just...
It reads as like a greenish gold. That's lovely.
Just sort of yellowy.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's
I think
lovely.
it's going to be great. And when you look at the chart, well, it's a little ghosty around that outside edge anyway, because it's, like a pale inner border kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So I think it'll look great. I didn't buy extra. I'll probably have to order another gold. This is one of those things that you just don't know with a chart this big. Mm-hmm. It's just, maybe I'll run out of floss. Maybe I won't. Who knows?
You could play floss chicken.
That's right.
Although I doubt you will, miss. I just ordered every color because one was getting low.
That's true. I don't play a lot of
You don't
chicken.
play floss chicken.
No, I buy what I need.
Ain't nobody got time for floss chicken.
No. All right.
Show
them what you got.
I have been making a little progress towards my Stitching with the Housewives autumn. Their seasons were all gifted to me by my amazing mother. And I worked a little bit on summer. And now I've worked a little bit more on autumn, but I just love the look of them. They were originally designed as chalk art by Priscilla, which I think is fantastic. But I finished the word autumn there at the top, and I made sure to get October and November in there. But I have just got a lot of mistakes in this guy too, so I'm just rolling with it and trying to keep it as even on both sides as possible. This is probably my favorite, the little beginning of a scarecrow up here in this corner.
Nice.
It just looks like a baby's onesie just hanging out for no reason.
Oh, it does. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But yes, I've been enjoying it, and I absolutely was not stitching correctly with this beautiful fancy floss that Mom gifted me because I was making English style rows and doing half stitches and then coming back. And so I fixed that, and you can tell the difference between the color tone in tum and the color tone in oh.
Oh, because you got much more variegation.
I got more variegation in my A and my U there because I started doing it correctly.
That's kind of fun for a learning piece for you to see, you know, which way do you like it better.
Absolutely. And my stitches lay nicer on the section too. So
yeah,
it's okay. I'm still figuring things out and having a lot of fun doing it. So
there you go.
Anyway, that's my Stitching with the Housewives. And then for actual Halloween day, as we were watching the end of Agatha All Along,
oh my gosh,
I started stitching.
If you have not binge watched Agatha All Along, you have got to watch Agatha.
It's fantastic.
It's so good.
We fell in head first.
Yeah.
But this is from the 13 Spooky Smalls that I bought this pattern book at Dying to Stitch when we went for Mother's Day together. And just love all of the patterns in here. You can see the finished version of what I'm about to show you here on the back. It just says October 31st, and it's got this cute little ghost and spider web. Well, I was so busy watching Agatha that I didn't get very far, but here is my start on it. I just got my 31. It says B31. I'm 35, so I can't. But B31 it says. And
bingo.
I've started the little ghost. He's absolutely invisible against this fabric, so I might decide to go back and pull him out and change colors. I don't know.
You could just
backstitch outline.
Backstitch with some gray.
Sure.
Next month, just as a heads up, when we start doing Christmas, and I show you some of my Christmas, that would be fully finished by then because you people conned me into doing all that. But I had an invisible sheep on a pattern that I stitched last year or the year before.
I remember the invisible sheep.
And it was adorable, but invisible, and so I had to backstitch around it.
That's okay.
And it's doable.
I tried a new technique with this one, though, where I'm just working on Ada, but I decided I wanted to try to stitch in the ditch. So when I put it on a hoop, I'm actually working into the bed of the hoop instead of on the surface of the hoop, which I had always done previously. I really like it.
Do you want?
It feels more like stitching in hand to me, and I don't end up getting snagged on the metal bits this way. I don't know why, but it has absolutely helped me just not hit that hardware for whatever reason.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's it for my whips.
So, I mean, you know, it's been a month and we've worked on one or two things. It's fine. Okay.
All right, haul is going to be all you.
Yeah, Mallory spent no money this month, but
I managed not to. Well, that's not fair. I spent money on yarn, but I managed not to spend any money on floss, although I spent money for you.
That's true.
Going to kit things for
That's
you
right.
at Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, because I don't even have that to show you, but I did order Chantel 141's Christmas ornament box. It's fantastic. Everybody's shown it. You've seen all 5 patterns, but I just handed all 5 patterns to Mallory, and I said, if you'll pick up the floss for this, I'd appreciate it.
Yes.
And so she brought that home, which was great.
Yes, my oldest Gingersnap came with me, and we had a lot of fun just standing in front of the flosses and pulling numbers.
A 12-year-old is a perfect companion when you are going to buy DMC.
Absolutely.
All right, so first things first. This gorgeousness. Look at this thing that I managed to buy. Okay, so if you don't follow Pirate Robin on Instagram, go right now. You can pause. We'll still be here when you come back. Pirate Robin. And on YouTube, you need to see her first YouTube video. Y'all, it's only 18 minutes long, so you don't actually have to stitch. Get a cup of coffee and take a break.
And watch this
And
video.
just watch her video. She is adorable, and she shows you how she gets this saturated color in her dyeing process. And she dyes 3 colors in 3 values while you watch. And at the end, you want to buy 9 skeins of floss. It's just gorgeous.
Her work is beautiful.
She showed this perfectly done rainbow palette, and I went, oh, say less. I went straight to her Etsy shop. It's Pirate Robin on Etsy, and I went straight there and bought, I mean, look at that. Is that not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen?
And these are all cottons, right?
They're all cotton, and
They
so
feel so nice.
I know, they're so lovely. I told my granddaughter that this was my favorite color.
Oh no, what did she say?
I said, what color name would you give this?
Oh no, I'm so afraid.
This is Gumdrop. You know, she's 9. She says, puke green? I said, well, she probably wouldn't sell a lot if that's what she named it, but she named it Cactus. And isn't that a great name for that color green?
That's exactly the color that it is.
I love that so much. Anyway, they're wonderful, wonderful colors. The saturation is amazing. I can't promise that I'll ever unwrap these and stitch with them. These may just be my rainbow that I keep to look at, and then I'll order. I actually have another piece of hers that I might stitch with. We'll see.
When skies are gray and you just need some color in your life, it's nice to keep a rainbow handy.
Yes.
That's really good.
Okay, so then the other thing that came this month, are we all going to meet each other at the Jingle Ball? Look how cute that is.
So cute.
I love it. So,
You're going to be in costume.
Of course.
The uniform.
Of course, in uniform. I'm a compliant person. I got the t-shirt because we're in North Carolina, and who knows if it's going to be hot or cold in the house that weekend.
That's right.
So I have a sweatshirt and I have a t-shirt, and you know what else I have? I have me some Swan stretchy pants.
Oh my gosh.
Aren't these amazing? Oh, and they are so soft. They're so wonderful.
Cute.
Stephanie, you're a genius, is all I can
Swan's
say.
Swans are swimming.
So, such a genius. I was so excited. And I was like, yes, I don't need a coffee cup. We have too many coffee cups. I was a teacher. She was a teacher. Stop giving teachers coffee cups. They do not need another coffee cup, people. Just stop. Don't do it. It's fine. Just give them the candy. Don't put the candy in a cup. It's fine. Okay. I told you about this last week, and then it came in the mail, or last time. So this is the Primrose Cottage Christmas projects, and they are amazing. And I got Lindsay's Christmas finishing favorites kit, so just a couple of little pieces of fabric and some trims, because
that is brilliant.
Apparently now I'm finishing things, people. And I went ahead and got the floss that is to stitch both the Cocoa Quaker and the Cocoa Quilt. So this is the floss pack that will do both Cocoa Quilt and Cocoa Quaker.
And these aren't going to get started until December 1st?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That is the first Sunday of Advent.
I'll just make it.
Christmas begins December 1st.
There you go.
And then, but I love this one. This will probably be the first one I
too.
do, just because I actually can finish this one pretty fast.
Years ago, when I was in my lull of cross stitch and wasn't actually actively cross stitching, a similar pattern to this one popped up on Pinterest, and it just lit the flame, and it made me want to cross stitch again.
Well, and then I love Christmas magic so much. Like, this is so wonderful. And what I love is that Lindsay's been showing you can do like an ornament that's just these ornaments plus the word Noel, or just a little pillow that says Mary, or just
break it apart a little bit.
Yeah. So I will probably do some of that as well.
Yes.
Those were just the cutest.
Super
I got
cute.
all those. And then, well, I told you that she gifted me the chart for Miss Hazel.
Yes.
But one of the reasons it got away from me so much that not only did I get the Miss Hazel chart and Miss Hazel all stitched, just in case you need a reminder of how sweet she is. Look how cute. But I had finally broken down and bought Clovis and Nettle. So
I love them.
Absolutely going to be working on these sometime over the winter holiday.
Yes.
You know, when things slow down and even though she's Halloween, I will probably make her and save her costume for October.
There you go.
You know, like just go ahead and stitch because she's adorable. Look what a pretty little bunny she is in her little outfit.
She's so cute.
And I'm pretty sure when I was a kid in 1973, I had a dress, a little jumper that looked just like that, and probably a shirt exactly with a little calico print. And now that I've said that, my mother will post it on Instagram. So when she does, I'll share it in my stories because she's great like that.
I love Clovis because she reminds me of the Redwall book series that like defined my childhood.
Yes, we read all the Redwall books.
Love some Badgers.
Okay, and then this, if you didn't know about this, I'm sorry for your luck. But Vicki Clayton, who is a brilliant silk dyer, and we all buy all her silks, dyed linen this month. And she's real optimistic that it's a completely repeatable process, like it was easily repeatable, and she's going to be selling linen, and the stitching world should rejoice. So I bought Yamp Up. This is a fat quarter, and I bought a fat quarter of The Wind Lies, and I bought a fat quarter of Hey something.
Yeah.
And then I bought a fat half of Invert Basin, this bright yellow. And I think they are all just glorious. Now, this was restraint because she had a couple more shades. And they were all beautiful. And these are all 40 count. And I'm almost embarrassed to say, but a fat quarter was $16. It was like half the price.
That's
of
so
what we
reasonable.
Usually, it's so reasonable. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a fat half was the price I usually pay for a fat quarter. So,
wow. So run, do not walk.
Check and see. She was dyeing red linen this week, and it was gorgeous, but I restrained myself. I did not need red now.
I love red work. Red makes me very happy.
Yes, it's wonderful. And then finally, if we haven't mentioned enough that it's not Christmas yet, I have my box that came from Colorado Cross Stitcher.
Oh, your Advent.
It's my Advent box.
Yes.
Sherry, you have no idea the self-restraint it took for me to not even unzip it. And I'm going to be one of those people that wraps this box.
And puts it under the tree?
And opens it for the first time on Christmas Day because that's the first day of Christmas. And then there are a bunch of individual things in here, and I'll just open one a day to Epiphany because that will make me so happy. Aww. So all y'all that are going to spoil it because you're going to open it now, I can't watch your videos. No, I'll
still see it. It's fine.
It's fine, but I'm saving mine. I am a saver in this regard, and I'm so excited about it.
If you save it, then you can savor it.
That's right.
And that makes it really nice.
And I'm real excited about that.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know where we are on time.
That's fine. I just have a couple of things to share for, not really haul, but things I'm planning on working on.
Yeah, I've got a whole bucket of plans, so...
Oh, well, I just want to...
I just don't know how far. You show yours, and then we'll see how much of mine we can get into. We probably ought to check.
I've been enjoying making my own little needle minders out of scrap fabric and just finding tiny little motifs like this little red reindeer that'll fit onto a button. So I'm gluing it onto a button and then gluing a magnet to the back. And I am just enjoying making these little guys. I found I don't have enough needle minders for all the projects that I'm trying to do. I'm sure those of you who are monogamous stitchers can't even think of that, but I need like 50 of these. So I'm going to be making my own. And then I also have from the Animal Crackers collection Henrietta that I would like to start working on. Now that I've seen Miss Hazel finished, I really desperately need Henrietta. So I will be working on her.
You know, she's a chicken mom, so the
I
chicken
am a chicken
thing.
mom. And she looks so much like my red hens that I have that she's just going to fit right in. My big one, who I initially was naming Henrietta, has just deferred to Big Red now because she is matriarchal.
There you go. There you go.
And then this is another one that I bought a couple of years back, but I really desperately want to work on in the next couple of weeks and even the Christmas season. Redwood Pears by Annie B's Folk Art. And I just love these. They were on display at Dying to Stitch, and gosh, were they so cute. And they had them in red and blue, and red just fits everything that I decorate with. So I went with the red work.
It's very nice. I actually have the spring green set.
Ooh.
And a piece of green fabric that I bought at the Crafty Grimalkin in Bangor, Maine when we were headed up. Ooh. And yeah, I think that's one of the things. It's all stitched in white on green. And so I think that I'll probably work on that in the spring.
Very nice. Very nice.
I mean, I don't think it's named spring green to be springy. I think it's named spring green because of Wisconsin, but
right.
Still.
But still.
That's so the next thing I have to show you are the autumn projects that I have not had time to stitch. So you notice I had 11 whips and quite a few fully finishes. But I have more, oh, so many more, that I would love to be able to stitch, and autumn will be over in a couple of weeks. It's not really. Y'all know autumn goes to December 21st, right?
Winter solstice, right?
Right.
Like that's the...
Sure. But we all, Christmas observers, tend to just stop at Thanksgiving. And so I'm kind of a traditionalist in that way, that I treat fall as, I started in August. It's really technically still summer at that point.
Right.
But I move on to fall in August, September, when school's coming back in session, you know. So August, September, October, and November, that's all fall. And so it gets 4 months. That's pretty good. But I still have plenty of things I did not get to finish. Several of the things that I haven't worked on lately are all of these Blackbird design bags. So in this first one, I have the other Blackbird project that I started on my birthday. I'm not going to pull them all out and show you. I just want to talk about them for a minute. I have My Heart Can Rest. I started on my birthday. I haven't made a lot of headway on it.
Back in July.
Back in July, yep. I have Strawberry Fields Forever that I started August 1st with Kim again. Kim got me to start 2 things at once, which is, you know, not okay, but I did. So anyway, I have got quite a bit done on it, and, you know, but I haven't worked on it lately, you know, because I've only got the 2 sets of hands. 1 set, 2 hands. You get it.
Yes.
Okay, and then this one is a bit of spring, and I kind of treated it like a Christmas project, but like a January project. Like it's post-Christmas, but not really. So I hope I'll finish this one this year.
It looks like prelude into Valentine's Day.
Yes,
with
it's a lot of pinks.
And all the pinks and reds.
Do you see my problem with it? Just look and see if you can guess why I've stopped.
It's got a lot of color variegating floss in there.
No, I like that.
Why?
Where's the Z, Mallory?
Where's the Z? There's no. They took off the Z.
There's no Z. So I'm either going to remove
a bird,
a flower pot.
Oh, the flower pot. Yeah.
And put in or shift the flower pot, remove a bird. Anyway, I got to chart a Z because
there's got to be a Z in there.
I just can't. And I trust Alma. And, you know, I do, but I just can't do it without a Z. It's not going to work for me.
I find it hilarious I didn't notice it.
I do too. Olivia was saying this morning on Pumpkin Hollow Quilts that she had a pattern that she had to put the second P in pumpkin because it was charted just as pumpkin. And she is Pumpkin Hollow Quilts.
Yeah,
and
so you
she
can't
said,
misspell.
Yeah. I said, that'd be like leaving the S out in Island time.
Island.
No, just can't. Okay, so this is where I started Pumpkin Farm. Now I get to pray about it and decide whether I'm starting completely over with Jessica and carry or if I, and then this one is my new, it hasn't been released to the public. I took the class at Dine to Stitch, Sweetheart's Delivery it's called. And I'm this far on a sweet little sampler, and it's my brand new Blackbird that I'm going to work on for sure to try and have it done maybe by Valentine's. That seems like a good goal.
Yeah.
And this is in one of my Buckleberry bags, which
very
she's
cute.
the best. The best. And then I kitted this one.
And it doesn't even have a chicken in it.
Because I needed, no it doesn't. It does have a bird. I guess it has a bird. I made this bag, but this is I Love Fall Most of All. It's from Brenda Gervais, and I bought it from her website a couple of months ago, and I just haven't started it yet. But I got the linen cut, and I got all the floss pulled.
So it's all kitted.
It's all ready to go, and I really wish I could just, but you know, is it good sense to start this when I've got Feast of Friendship, and I've got Thomas, and I've got, you know, like there's just so many going. Do I really? Yeah. I'll probably start it.
I'm of the opinion that life is too short to not start something that you want to start.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah. If I have a rough day sometime. Okay, so this is in a little folder from Julie Just Sews, who is Holly Jones' mother. And I love these little folders. And this is where I have this is where I have Autumn Quaker. So hopefully this will travel with me for the holidays for sure. Because it's a nice little, you know, self-contained kit in my little ABC pouch that I love so much. Yep. So I'm digging around, actually organizing my Christmas stuff, and I found this one, and I couldn't believe that I'd forgotten about it completely, because this is my Prairie Schooler acorns.
I love them.
I love them so much, and I started this last year, and I kitted the whole thing, so I've got all the flosses ready to go on those wonderful floss drops that you can get from Fat Quarter Shop. So I've been in enough of their different things that I've got, you know, all these different ones. So these are all DMC. I like them because you can write the DMC number on the back, and then if you use it up or whatever, you can just clean it off with alcohol.
That's so
you know,
smart.
and use them over and over. They're really nice.
I love that.
They're called Floss Biddies.
Floss Biddies.
Yes, I like them very much. Anyway, I have one finished. I have this sweet little crow and pumpkin.
Just needs to become an acorn.
It needs to become an acorn, and then I don't have it. I have this one labeled where its top is, and I've started it, and that's as far as I got. But I cut up my entire fat quarter of 36 count Eureka that I got from
to make all of these acorns.
That I got from Hollis Hands Creates, and I went ahead and serged them so they're, well, you know, zigzagged, so that they're ready to go. So it's just a matter of stitching them. I saw these finished in a dough bowl at the Stitching Bee in Wisconsin, and they were so beautiful. And I took like 6 pictures of them laying there and went, okay, I am definitely gonna have to.
Need to finish those.
Need to finish those.
Yep.
All right, 2 or 3 more.
Okay.
I've got, this is another one. Fat Quarter Shop does all these little cookie-sized cross-stitch ornaments, and they're just adorable. And I was working on these Autumn Days ones, and I have a bunch of them finished, and I have a few just started, like waiting to be filled in, which is, oops, there went one.
There goes a bag. Okay, so I just had an idea. This might be crazy, but how cute would it be to make these like mason jar toppers and to fill a mason jar with sugar cookies?
Oh, absolutely.
And then that's a perfect little gift.
That's a great way to use it. I actually have the little tins and the circles of sticky board that you can just finish them just like this. And I even have the ribbon. I have everything. So I just have to finish stitching them, you know. And you think there's any chance you can
I can
reach
get that,
bag?
sure.
Oh, this was open and now it's zipped, but that's okay. This one is Hands on Designs. Gather at the Table. I went to Dine to Stitch last year, and Kathy was the guest designer, and so in our class we made the back and she provided the circle and an early look at the chart, And so I immediately kitted it with all the colors that I would need to do that, as well as putting my little chubby fox over in here with it, because I thought, this is from Jeanette Douglas, I thought, oh yeah, chubby fox needs to be made with all of these autumn colors and gather at the table. And those are both Thanksgiving-y kind of things, and they're small, and I can take them with me when I travel, and so I still can do that, and I might this year take them as one of my travel projects. I don't get as much stitching when we travel done as I think I'm going to. You know,
Isn't that funny?
I know, it's weird.
You end up being in the moment with friends and family.
I know. You know, if they just leave me alone, let me stitch. But, I have Patchwork Pumpkin from Blackbird kitted and ready to go. And I even have a working copy in here because it's one of those charts that's printed on 2 different pages, and that drives me crazy. So I've already photocopied it and taped it together. So I've got a working copy. I've got a piece of vintage country mocha in here with all the DMC floss. They're not even bobbinated, and that's one of my favorite things to do, to put them on floss drops. I haven't even done that yet. So anyway, and then last but not least, this was the bag that I had one of my fall projects that I finished in, and so I started collecting fall charts that I haven't started at all. Some of them have floss with them, some of them don't. But if you're looking for something, if you're still stitching fall.
The weighty thud it made.
I know. Well, okay. This is the gather in. And I have all of the DMC that are called for, just waiting for me to pull a fat quarter and get started on this thing. And it's gorgeous. And a lot of you have stitched it. I just haven't started it yet. And I actually enjoy all that fill. You know, like that's especially with DMC. The other floss that I love doing fill work with is NPI, because then you have the silk that's not variegated, that's just a solid silk
color,
and you can treat it just like DMC, and it just feels like silk. It's really nice.
That's nice.
So I bought several of these little shepherd's bush bag kits. This is the one that says Grateful Heart. And so it comes with all the floss you need. The little zipper bag is already constructed, and it even has a needle. So you literally pick up your reading glasses and your scissors, and you're ready to go. So I have the Halloween one in my purse, so that if I get stuck somewhere, like a doctor's office, in case of emergency stitching, because once you open this, once this is out, you put everything into the zipper bag, zip it up, it comes with its own project bag. Like it's
okay, I need like 5 of those.
Right?
Apparently.
These are great.
That's
and
awesome.
They do have them for all the seasons, so they're really fun to do. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is Textilly Crafts Fall Acorn, and it is gorgeous, right?
It's so pretty.
And this is also from Pirate Robin, the floss that goes with this. So it's one variegated color does that whole acorn, and so they just selectively cut the navy to go where they want the navy to go, and the brown where they want the rest, you know, the brown parts.
But like these colors are all the same value tone. I feel like if you just let the floss variegate and just did the pattern top to bottom or whatever, it would still be perfectly readable.
I think so. And I may do that. I may do the mixed up version because I can cut where I need to, but
Fussy cut.
yeah, fussy cut the floss, but I just think it's so pretty. And I have 2 skeins.
I
So I have a feeling, these are 10-yard skeins, by the way, from Pirate Robin. So this color is called Dark Copper.
I would want to let this thread speak for itself. I don't think I would want a fussy cut. I would want it to
I think so.
show off how cool and variegated it is.
But I just think this is a great fall pattern that I haven't gotten to. Harvest Blessings. This is a sweet one that I haven't gotten to yet, and I really want to work on it. I have these wonderful Stacy Nash. I've got the Merry Autumn pin keep. I have a couple of others already started. I don't know how they didn't end up in this pile, actually, now that I think about it. I guess because the one I'm working on is a Halloween-y one. But with the Halloween-y one is a fall one to follow it up. So this one will go in that pack, and I'll get to it eventually. This is Merry Harvest from Not Forgotten Farms. When I ordered Thomas, you know, Thomas could not travel alone. And I think this is so sweet, and I could probably do it in just a couple of days. And it's all letters, and, you know, it's my favorite thing to stitch. So I probably will start this. I will be amazed if I make it to Thanksgiving without starting that one.
Yes.
This is November Snapshot. From Pine Mountain. I have had this one for a couple of years, but it's super cute, and it just calls for DMC, and I think it would be one I could do pretty quickly. And, you know, that turkey. Everybody needs to be stitching a turkey right now. Speaking of which, here's
It's turkey time.
Turkey Time. Turkey Time from Erica Michaels.
I love that one.
And, you know...
What do they call this shape? Because I've seen them do this everywhere.
That's a strawberry.
A strawberry. Okay, so the little cone drum really is what it is, but it's a little cone-shaped drum. The strawberries are just the cutest.
Yes, and
They're so
yeah,
sweet.
you'll find those. A lot of people do those.
Yeah.
And then my friend Chris, the camping stitcher, I have had this one since she came out with it last year, and it's, you know, transitions from October to November nicely. If you don't like having a jack face, you could just stitch it as a solid pumpkin.
Sure, why not?
But I just love it, and I've had it as a PDF in my phone now for a while, and I could certainly get started on that one. I have all the bags, but I have the Thankful bag with its buttons. So that would be a fun one to do. And I especially love the little fob
Thankful for stitching.
that says
That's
Thankful
so
for
cute.
stitching. Yeah, it's a little tiny scissor fob. So that, if you're looking for a smalls exchange, kind of small, all these shepherd's bush patterns will stitch. I did my sheep one as a very small on 36 count, I think.
Right.
If you don't,
As a pin keep.
yeah, as a pin keep, or the fob, or both. I mean, it depends on how much you love this person, right? You do both.
Depends on how much you love them.
Actually, it probably depends on how much time
How
you've
much
allowed
time,
to
exactly.
yourself. That's right.
It's the time that really is the thing.
And then I've got both Thankful and Harvest, Tiny Towns, and by Heart and Hand. And so having one or the other of these going, the reason they're not going is because I still have the Seaside Tiny Town
in progress. Right.
And I kind of have I should be doing one tiny town at a time rule, which is a silly rule, but.
Well, if you're doing one tiny town, maybe I could be doing
Oh,
one
that's
tiny
absolutely. Yeah, because I bought from Pete's Bee Skeps a beautiful scissor holder that Kathy assured me is the size for a tiny town to go around the outside.
town. So it just wraps the middle.
So you finish it so that it wraps around the outside of my wooden holder, and I've just been waiting to have that done.
Fantastic.
So see how long these videos will go if we actually do a whip parade, because that's just the stuff I'd like to be doing right now. That's not even.
That's very targeted to this season.
That's right. That's
Very
right.
selectively showing those whips.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So.
And
Okay.
it is Knitvember.
Yes, so we're gonna transition here to talk a little bit about yarn stuff. If yarn's not your thing and you need to go, that's perfectly fine. If you've hung with us this long, then more power to you.
We're glad you're here.
We are so glad you're here. Mallory's gonna talk a little bit about yarn stuff, and then we'll be done. So hang on for just another minute or two.
Oh, and I also wanted to do a shout out before you go for my dad, who is the one who recorded and sang our intro song.
Yes.
So we're going to be adding songs here and there in the videos going forward, but it was so sweet of him to be willing to do a little jingle for us.
Yes.
All right, so it's Knitvember. And what that means is that you just knit a little bit each day of November. It's not anything super fancy that I've found. However, I'm a little extra. I don't know if you knew this. And I decided that for Knitvember, what I really needed to be knitting was sweaters. Now, you heard the plural there, sweaters. It's because at this point in life, I had not been knitting very large sweaters. I have little stuffed frogs that wear sweaters. So I've been making sweaters that are about this big, and that was the largest sweater I had made. But then my nephew came to visit me, and he was not quite a month old yet. And I held this little bag of sugar, and he was so sweet and perfect that as soon as he left with his parents, I went upstairs and I started casting on. And my husband said, "What are you making?" And I said, "A sweater." And he said, "Why did you say it like that?" Because it's for my nephew. And I had found a great pattern called 5-Hour Baby Sweater. And I was like, 5 hours? I doubt it. I'm a pretty fast knitter at this point. I can't quite hit the 5-hour mark, but it's real close. It's a fast knit.
Oh, wow.
And so I made it teeny tiny, and I'll share a picture of what it looks like on my precious nephew because it's so cute on him.
It was very cute.
He looks like Mr. Rogers. Like,
Yes.
it's so sweet.
Yes.
But I also saw in this pattern that you can up the yarn size and up your needle size and just make a slightly larger sweater. So here's one that I made right after that is just a solid gray, and it's going to be just right for one of my other nephews who turned 1. And it's just so soft. This is made with a bamboo blend fiber. And so it's a chunky yarn, and it's just super soft. And I'm excited to gift this for Christmas. But this is literally the largest sweater I've ever knitted. I have made many crocheted sweaters.
Yes.
As a lifelong crocheter, I did that first. And now, here's a variegated sweater that I worked on. I love this one because the yarn naturally variegates. You get all kinds of funky stripes happening, and I did not try to control that at all. You'll see the sleeves don't match. Who cares? It's so cute. I still need to sew little buttons onto the front of this one. This will be for one of my, not really nieces, but I'm going to say niece, when we get to visit them at the end of this month. And just because I had seen where everybody was making these, the Hexie cardigans, the Hexie cardies, I thought that it was so cool. So I just started working up a crochet cardigan where it's literally a hexagon, but when you fold it, it turns out to be just the right proportions to be a sleeve and a body for half of a cardigan.
That's so cool.
It's so cool. I showed this to my husband, Mike, and folded it in half, and he said, "That's sorcery. How did you do that?" And what's fun is, like, if you misfold it, you end up with some kind of funky shape like that.
Yeah.
Who knows what the heck that's going to be. Not for a human.
No.
But
No.
I just thought it was so fun. And this is a nice turn off your brain and just let your hands work on something for in the evening when I can't squint anymore at my stitching. This is great.
Sure. A lot of the
hands
people
just
that talk
go.
about their knitting, that's what they say. You know,
Yes.
that with knitting, they don't have to have as much light. They don't have
Don't
to.
need magnifiers.
Yeah.
I do want to thank Sandra from Flossy Floozies for giving me those magnifiers when we went on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
I have number 2s.
Yeah, just a little bit of magnification.
But on that black fabric.
Yeah.
Super
that's-
helpful.
Right.
Anyway, so we've just been keeping busy. I think this is the second and third sweater, but I've made 5 total now.
Wow. This month?
This month. For Knitvember.
Sure. Sure. Why not? I mean, that's the rate I usually quilt, so I'm not judging. I mean, you know, that's just the way we do things around here, just fast and furious. I have not been quilting. I haven't gotten to do any piecing since I got back from my quilting retreat. I've just been quilting for other people, so I've done numerous quilts in the long arm, and several of them I've had to fully finish. In fact, we're going to finish up here, and I'm going to go buying some quilts.
Sounds like fun.
That'll be a fun way to spend my afternoon on a Saturday.
Thank you all so much for being with us today.
Yes, this is so much fun. It is so much work and worth every minute, but now I know what you guys mean. I have destroyed my whip basket. I have destroyed my my room. It'll take the rest of the morning to clean up, but
It'll be fine.
it's great.
It'll be fine. And what I really love about this, though, is it gives us a sense of, wow, I actually accomplished a lot.
I agree. I have done more in this month than I thought I had, and this was exactly the kick in the pants that I needed to fully finish some things because, you know.
And gorgeous finishes, too. Like
I am
that
grateful, yes, and I really do I love my little box that
Gather
I
Ye Pumpkins box. It's so great.
I mean, I stitched that in 2021. It's
Yeah.
about time somebody got around to doing that. So, okay. Past Lori was not thinking that through. That's all I know. She left that on future Lori's list.
I am just encouraged and thankful for the way that the cross stitch community has just embraced us.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Because we do live way out here in Eastern North Carolina. We have our small group, which is very helpful to know that there are other stitchers in the area. But we are 3 hours from the closest local needlework store. So everything's online. God bless Fat Quarter Shop. I mean, what would we do without you?
And 123 Stitch.
And 123 Stitch. And, and then Colorado Cross Stitcher and Crafty Grimlock. And I order from the LNSs where I've shopped before, because it's just a great way to support the community. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you are grateful. This is a hard season for a lot of us, but please do try to find some gratitude for your little slice of life. And we love you. If there's anything you need, reach out, ask us questions. If you want us to pray for you, we both are happy to do that. And we are very grateful for you. Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and happy stitching.
Happy stitching. Bye. Bye.
All right, let's see if it did it.